Hello, this is Dori here reporting for Gamereactor from Minsk in Belarus, the headquarters of Wargaming, where they've invited me here for a huge event to celebrate their anniversary, where devs from all of their studios around the world will gather and celebrate war. I'm here with Alexander, and we're here to talk about World of Warplanes, which has been in open beta for about a month now. And my first question to you, Alexander, is what has been the greatest challenge in developing World of Warplanes?
Hello everybody, Вітання з Minska. And regarding the greatest challenge, there is a big difference between tanks and warplanes. As you know, tanks go on the plane. Tanks work in 2D dimension, and in the same time, planes fly in a 3D dimension. Initially, people mentally understand how to drive a car. The same happens when they try to control tank in World of Tanks. For our tanks player, this process is pretty natural. In World of Warplanes, there is another situation, because we have a very fast gameplay. In the same time, aircrafts fly in space in 3D dimension, and aircraft cannot just immediately stop in clouds and looking around what happens. So planes, like sharks, they move always. And during to even this initial difference between tanks and warplanes, we have pretty much difficulties. Difficulties in game design, because these games are completely different. Psychological difference for players, because it's pretty obvious that initial entry barrier for World of Warplanes is a little bit higher than in tanks. And also we had good technical challenges. We use the same engine which is tank uses. This engine is called Big World. It's a pretty much good engine, but it's not so good for the needs of World of Warplanes. So our technical guys also had a lot of work, a lot of tremendous work to do to let open beta happens.
And like I said, you've been in open beta for about a month now. What has the feedback been like? Because you pulled the game back into development for a little overhaul because you weren't quite satisfied, but now you have it in players' hands. What's the feedback like? Everybody happy?
Currently, we are in the open beta stage, and we do respect our players, and their feedback is very important for us. So we deeply analyze what our players tell for us. However, in the same time, everybody needs to understand that after the release of MMO title, development will not stop. Development will continue, and we will release updates maybe one time per 2 months with new functionality, with new content. So we have surely some plans what critical things must be done before release. However, after the release, we will continue working on the implementing of all the feedback from our players.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to touch upon that a little bit, because World of Tanks is a lot different from when it launched after having 8-point-something updates. Do you have any sort of roadmap ahead after you have hit these critical issues that you want to have set before you launch Warplanes? Do you have a roadmap ahead of where you want to go with it after launch?
Mm-hmm. What I can tell you surely is that we will keep tendency that we don't have intention to create hardcore simulator. In the same time, we don't want to do simplified arcade game. We develop MMO, aviation MMO, shooter, easy to learn, hard to master for everybody. We want everybody, every player from any city in the world can launch our game, quickly get into our great dynamic battles, enjoy this process, and share his feeling with friends. So we will keep this tendency to do. But in the same time, surely we will respect tendency in the game industry. We need to understand that each year requirements for game will be more higher and higher. So I think that we will follow this tendency, and we will do our best to meet all these future requirements.
Now, the current game mode that you have in the game is called Superiority. Can you describe it for me? And also, do you have any plans for other sorts of gameplay modes in the game?
Superiority is currently our primary game mode. Two teams, 15 versus 15, fight against other to achieve advantages. Every player have possibility in the same time fight against other aircrafts which are controlled by people, and fight against ground targets, ground objects, which are initially AI. Criteria for winning in a superiority game mode is either destroying of all enemies' aircraft or achieving advantage. Achieving advantage means that in this particular time in the battle, one team achieved more advantages than another. It means that in this time it kills more and more aircrafts of enemies and ground targets than enemy team does. And regarding our future plans, surely that after release we will draw our special attention on the production of new game modes, which we will be happy to introduce to our players.
Well, thank you very much for the interview, and have fun tomorrow at the festivities.